Ladies and gentlemen, let's get one thing straight this moment. Right here, right now is bigger than you think. You didn't just show up today. You didn't just stumble into another ordinary day. You walked into an opportunity that is profound, powerful, and life-changing, if you choose to see it that way. Every single person in this room has battled negativity. It's that voice in your head telling you you're not good enough, smart enough, or talented enough. It's the hesitation that stops you from taking action. It's the excuses you make to justify why you're not where you want to be. And here's the brutal truth. Negativity is a liar. It's a defense mechanism your mind creates to keep you in your comfort zone. The problem? Your comfort zone is the enemy of growth. The real game changer is learning how to flip the script on negativity. Most people think they need to fix their negative thoughts before they can move forward. They believe they need to wake up one day with zero self-doubt and absolute clarity before they can take action. That's not how it works. You don't overcome negativity by fighting it. You overcome it by rewiring how you respond to it. Think about it. Every successful person you admire, every entrepreneur, every artist, every athlete, they all had doubts. They all had moments where they questioned themselves. The difference is they didn't let it stop them. They used it as fuel. Instead of saying, what if I fail? They asked, what if I don't even try? Instead of letting fear paralyze them, they let it push them to move faster, work harder, and prove themselves wrong. You need to start seeing negativity for what it really is. A test. Every time you hear that voice in your head saying you can't do this, recognize it as an opportunity to prove it wrong. Every doubt, every moment of hesitation, every fear, that's not a sign to stop. That's a sign you're on the right path. If you weren't doing something meaningful, if you weren't stepping out of your comfort zone, your mind wouldn't even be fighting you in the first place. The people who succeed in life are the ones who don't let their emotions dictate their actions. You don't have to feel confident to take action. You don't have to feel ready to start. You just have to move, because once you take that first step, once you make that first call, post that first video, take that first risk, you create momentum, and momentum kills negativity. Look, life is always going to throw obstacles at you. There will be failures. There will be moments where you feel like quitting. That's inevitable. But what's also inevitable is that if you keep going, if you keep showing up, if you keep pushing through that negativity, you will win. It might not happen overnight. It might not happen next month, but it will happen. So the next time that voice in your head tries to stop you, don't argue with it. Don't waste time debating whether or not it's right. Just move. Take action. Flip the script. Because negativity is not a roadblock, it's just a test to see how bad you really want it. Most people wake up every day and immediately focus on what's missing. They think about the money they don't have, the opportunities they weren't given, the people who didn't support them. It's an endless cycle of, I wish I had this, and if only I had that. And guess what? That mindset is the exact thing keeping them stuck. When you train your brain to focus on what's missing, you will always feel like you're losing, no matter how much you accomplish. The reality is, no matter where you are in life right now, you have something to be grateful for. And I'm not talking about some fluffy motivational nonsense. I'm talking about a real shift in perspective, one that can completely rewire how you see the world and, more importantly, how you act in it. You woke up today. Do you understand how profound that is? There are people who didn't. There are people who would give anything for one more day to chase their dreams. And here you are with time, with energy, with opportunity, and you're wasting it by focusing on what's wrong. It's insanity. The fastest way to shut down negativity is gratitude. You can't be truly grateful and miserable at the same time. It's impossible. When you start your day with appreciation instead of complaints, you shift your entire mental state. You stop focusing on limitations and start recognizing possibilities. And that's when things start to change. Think about this. If you have access to the internet, you have more resources at your fingertips than entire generations before you. You don't need permission. You don't need someone to open doors for you. You can learn anything, start anything, build anything. The problem is, most people don't see this as an advantage. They take it for granted. They scroll mindlessly instead of using it as a tool to grow. Why? Because they're too busy thinking about what they don't have instead of realizing how much they actually do. If you really want to shift your life, start making gratitude a habit. Every single day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be huge. It can be as simple as having a roof over your head, a meal to eat, or the ability to chase your dreams. But here's the key. It can't be surface level. You have to feel it. You have to let it sink in, because when you do, everything changes. Gratitude also puts problems into perspective. You think you're struggling? There's someone out there who has 10 times your problems and is still showing up, still grinding, still pushing forward. The difference? They refuse to be a victim of their circumstances. They refuse to dwell on what they lack, and because of that, they find ways to win. I get it. Life isn't perfect. There will always be things you want to change. But if you don't learn to appreciate what you have now, you'll never appreciate what you get later. You think making more money will make you happier? It won't. You think success will silence the negativity in your head? It won't. The only way to truly shift your mindset is to start practicing gratitude right now with whatever you have, wherever you are. This is your reality check. Stop looking at life through a lens of scarcity. Stop focusing on what's missing. Open your eyes to the insane amount of opportunity right in front of you. Because the second you do, negativity loses its power. And when negativity loses, you win. Overthinking is the ultimate killer of opportunity. So many people sit on the sidelines of their own life, paralyzed by thoughts of, what if I fail? What if I look stupid? What if it doesn't work out? And while they're trapped in their own heads, someone else, someone with less talent, fewer resources, and zero hesitation is out there actually doing the thing and winning. The difference? Action solves everything. It's not some motivational theory. It's the truth. Every single person who has ever built something great, from businesses to careers to relationships, did it by taking action before they felt ready. They didn't wait until the fear went away. They didn't wait for perfect conditions. They just started. Because movement creates momentum, and momentum crushes negativity. Let's break it down. When you sit around thinking about all the ways something could go wrong, your brain amplifies fear. The more time you spend in your head, the bigger your doubts become. It's like a snowball rolling downhill. Small at first, but the longer it goes unchecked, the bigger and more destructive it gets. The only way to stop that snowball is to move. The second you take action, even the smallest step, you break the pattern of overthinking. You shift from a mindset of fear to a mindset of progress. Most people convince themselves they need to figure things out before they start. That's nonsense. You don't get clarity from thinking, you get clarity from doing. Action gives you real-world feedback. You post the video and you see how people react. You send the email and you get a response. You start the business and you learn what works and what doesn't. Every step forward gives you information, and that information helps you improve. Think about it. Every skill you've ever developed, you figured out by doing. You didn't learn to walk by reading about it. You didn't learn to talk by overanalyzing. You just did it, failed, adjusted, and kept going until it became natural. But somewhere along the way, society trained people to be afraid of failure. They started equating failure with permanent loss instead of what it really is, a lesson, a stepping stone, a necessary part of growth. The truth is, you're going to mess up, you're going to take action and get things wrong. That's not a reason to stop. That's the whole point. You learn, you adjust, you improve. But none of that can happen if you never start. So let's get brutally honest here. What's actually stopping you? It's not a lack of knowledge. You have the internet. You can learn anything, anytime. It's not a lack of resources. Some of the biggest success stories came from people who started with nothing. The only thing stopping you is your own hesitation. And the only way to fix that is to start moving. One small action today can change your entire trajectory. It doesn't have to be massive. Send the message, make the call, write the post, show up. Because the second you take action, you stop being someone who wants and become someone who does. You are not stuck. You are not lost. You are just one decision away from moving forward. The question is, are you finally ready to stop thinking and start doing? At any given moment, you are one decision away from changing your entire life. Think about that. One decision, one moment of saying enough is enough, and everything shifts. But most people never make that decision. They stay stuck in the same cycles, repeating the same excuses, waiting for the perfect time that never comes. And that's why they never break through. The truth is, there's no secret formula, no magic bullet. The people who change their lives aren't the smartest, the most talented, or the most privileged. They're just the ones who decide to take their shot. They make the choice to go all in, to stop hesitating, to stop waiting for permission. And that decision, it's the only thing separating those who succeed from those who don't. Most people think success is some long, complicated process. It's not. It comes down to a single moment when you say, I'm done making excuses. I'm done waiting. I'm done letting fear control me. I'm taking action, and I'm never looking back. That's it. That's the moment when everything changes. But here's what usually happens instead. People tell themselves they'll start tomorrow. They convince themselves they need more time, more information, more confidence. So they wait, and that waiting turns into weeks, then months, then years. And before they know it, they're looking back at a life filled with regrets, all because they never made one decision, the decision to start. You have to understand something. Opportunity doesn't wait. It doesn't care if you're ready. It doesn't care if you feel confident. It shows up. And you either take it or you don't. And if you don't, someone else will. Someone who isn't as smart as you, who isn't as talented as you, but who simply had the courage to act. Look around you right now. In this exact moment, there is an opportunity staring you in the face. Maybe it's an idea you've been sitting on. Maybe it's a risk you've been too afraid to take. Maybe it's a call you've been putting off, a message you haven't sent, a step forward that you keep delaying. That is your moment. That is your decision. And if you don't take it, you're going to wake up a year from now wishing you had. People always ask, but what if I fail? Let me flip that question for you. What if you don't even try? What's worse, taking a shot and falling short, or living with the regret of knowing you never even stepped up to the plate? The pain of failure is temporary. The pain of regret lasts forever. And let's be real, failure isn't even failure unless you quit. Every misstep, every setback, every loss is just part of the process. The most successful people in the world, they're not the ones who never failed.